when he came into office over a year ago, many didn't give him much of a chance. After all, he had to fill in the larger-than-life shoes that were left behind by his predecessor, B.S. Yediyurappa. But now he is going strong at the completion of 1 year of his government and is hoping now to lead his government into next year's elections in Karnataka. Joining us now is a very special guest here on CNN News 18. Basavaraj Bommai is the Chief Minister of Karnataka. Thank you very much, sir, for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. It's been 1 year. Your government completed office in July 28th. Tell us, how would you rate your own assessment as Chief Minister in the last 1 year?
Thank you, Jacob. My 1 year was full of challenges, but I have laid a very strong foundation for a very high growth of Karnataka in all fields. Therefore, I rate this as a strong foundation and steps in the right direction with a new orientation and a high-speed development Karnataka.
What, in your assessment, sir, would be the single biggest achievement of your government in the last 1 year and the single biggest shortcoming, an area where you felt you could have and should have done more?
See, the single largest is, I can't single out. There are many such things, but first of all, basically to put economy on track. When I took over, just COVID shadows were there. The economy was in real problems. Now we had a 5,000 crores shortfall in our revenues, but by March we overcome that, not only 5,000, and over and above the budget targets, we could achieve 15,000 crores more, and that put my state into economical developmental track, and which is continuing now. Therefore, I am able to take up a lot of welfare schemes, infrastructure for my state, and that's how we have done something which has not been done in last 70 years of the state. For example, we are building 8,000 school rooms in a year, which is a record by itself. Since the inception of Karnataka, no government has been able to do this. I'm just giving one example.
Okay. Sir, the opposition in your state, and you're well aware of this, whether it is the former Chief Minister, Mr. Siddaramaiah, whether it's the current Congress chief there, Mr. Shiv Kumar, they have rated your government's performance as very poor. In fact, Mr. Siddaramaiah went on to say that you are the weakest Chief Minister in the history of Karnataka. How do you counter this? How do you respond to this? And do you believe that there is a perception bias against you?
See, Siddaramaiah, who claims to be a strong leader, his performance was zero in 5 years. That's why people threw him out of the power. And they are really now afraid of my performances, so they want to derate it. But however, people are the right people to rate me, and if they say it is zero, they will add 10 in front of it and they will give me 100%. Therefore, I am not bothered about what they say. In fact, my rating about Siddaramaiah is, he is a failure leader of opposition the Karnataka has seen.
Today, as we speak, Rahul Gandhi is in Karnataka. There is this fight that is going on between his top two leaders. Do you believe in the Congress party's case there are many chief ministerial aspirants and very few who can actually make the party win the election?
Certainly, there are factional leaders. Factionalism is there in Congress, and they have got this factionalism legacy itself. So each one thinks that he is a chief minister, but unfortunately, people doesn't think of them as a chief minister. That's the whole point. None of the Congress leaders, people think they are worth it because they already tried, many of them, including Siddaramaiah, and the credibility of Shiv Kumar and others is so low that Congress will be for disappointment in 2023.
I want to deal with two issues which the opposition says your government has been challenged on. One is the issue on communal temperatures, and recently there was this death of a BJYM leader in Dakshin Kannada. You had gone there, met with his family. How far has that investigation progressed? have the murderers of Praveen Nattaru been brought to book?
See, this communal temperature is raised by the anti-social, anti-national elements, which is very well known. And during Siddaramaiah time, there was more than 32 murders of our workers, Hindu activists. However, I don't want to take shelter under that. The investigation is in the right direction, and very soon culprits will be booked.
We also saw those pictures, sir. I think the day before you went, there were some of your senior leaders. They were heckled. Their cars were not allowed there. Do you understand the anger of the people there, and what are you doing to address that anger?
See, those are all our people, our boys. The frustration was that innocent people are killed. So, since we are in government, they have vented their anger. However, we have been talking to them, and now a lot of people realize what we have done and what we are going to do. Therefore, now they understand that very soon the culprits will be booked and justice will be done for Praveen.
You said while you were there that if need be, you wouldn't mind adopting the Yogi Adityanath model. What do you mean by that, sir?
See, what I meant was that very stern and firm action will be taken because Karnataka being a very peaceful place, we can't tolerate this kind of a nonsense what we have. So we are going to come down very, very seriously on them, and we will use the might of the law to the highest order to see that they are booked and they are punished and they don't raise their heads. That's what I meant.
Okay. The second issue that the opposition says where your government has not lived up to the challenge is the issue of corruption. They are often using this title of 40% Sarkar. There was also this contractors association that had reportedly written to the Prime Minister. There was one of them who committed suicide. Can you clarify for our viewers how your government is fighting against this perception of corruption?
First of all, that letter was written before I became a chief minister. That is a basic thing people forget. That letter was written before my becoming chief minister. After becoming chief minister, I have reined in corruption at all levels. We have built in now systems where the payments for the people will be done directly into their accounts. Secondly, I have established a high-level committee under the judiciary where all the estimates and tender conditions are scrutinized. Hence, now everything will be almost a judicial scrutiny before it is implemented. And third is, I have the very same contractors had come and I said, ask them to give me one case about 40%. How is that 40% is there? Whom you have given? Who has taken? They have not given even today a single case. I got an open mind, and we have reined in corruption to such an extent that all the people who are involved in economic activity are seeing it and feeling it. And as far as Congress is concerned, they are the Gangotri of corruption. And there are cases of more than 40% during Siddaramaiah government. I can give example and after example. They have got highest number of corrupt skeletons in their cupboard, and they don't have any moral right to talk. Their national president is facing corruption charges. Their state president is facing corruption charges, and all the ex-ministers are facing corruption charges. What right they have got?
Sir, when you were appointed chief minister, many said you were an unlikely candidate. There were people both within your party and outside who were saying that you are not originally from the BJP. What can you say to those people today, now that you have finished 1 year in power, that you are as much original BJP as anyone else in your party is?
See, I need not prove about my credentials in BJP. It is always there, it is seen, it is in action. I don't want to say anything, but everything is there to be seen as in the action itself. Secondly, yes, I had never lobbied or never tried for this, so naturally it became a element of surprise. But now all my legislature, all my party workers, all my office bearers, they are quite comfortable, and we are all going as one team.
What about the central leadership, sir? Is the central leadership 100% backing you and with you? Are you confident of leading your party into the elections next year?
It is very clear. When I was elected, it was the choice of my central leadership, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, Amit Shah ji, and Nadda ji, and their blessings are there throughout, and they are guiding me in all kind of development activities. And my job is now to bring back the party to power in 23, and I am striving day in and day out, 24/7. I'm at it, and I am sure people will bless us, and I will bring back Karnataka into BJP fold in 23. That is the wish of our leaders, and I will fulfill that wish.
Sir, over the last 1 year, there have been some concerns raised by the IT industry. Bangalore, of course, is known as the IT capital of the country. What will you say to the IT industry to reassure them that Karnataka and Bengaluru still remain the premier destination for IT companies, outsourcing companies? Because there were some concerns raised. I believe some industrialists like Kiran Majumdar-Shaw, etc., even wrote to you about it.
No, Kiran Majumdar voiced the concern about the communal flair in this thing. What I have assured her, see, as if the communal thing is not happening just now, it has been happening right for 4 or 5 decades, but IT sector has still grown, and if you look into the last 1 year, all the 4 quarters, highest number of FDI in the country is in Karnataka. 38% of the FDI of the country comes into Karnataka, and most of them are in the IT sector. That reposes the confidence not only the Indian IT people, but the Silicon Valley IT people also. And secondly, we are innovation number 1. Highest number of MOEs we have signed, industry is growing, and yesterday the list of GST has come down compared to last year. We have grown 45% in GST compared to the last year. That shows the economy is growing. Economy doesn't grow like that. Economy grows through people who can really contribute to the economy in terms of industry, trade, commerce, workers, and infrastructure by the government. So all this is happening. So I have assured them, and now they are really comfortable about it.
Mr. Bombay, one organization that seems to be creating a lot of trouble in your state in the last 1 year is the Popular Front of India. What is the status of the government investigation against them? Why don't you ban them? Can you give us a status update?
Yeah, see, I've been told, I have already spoken to press regarding this. This is not creating problem not only in Karnataka, throughout the country, Kerala, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, everywhere. And the ban at state level, the courts have stuck it down. So the center is at it, and they have to have right kind of procedure, informations, and they are collecting that, and very soon some action will be taken, and we are hopeful about it.
Do you believe, sir, that in the last few months, it's settled now, but in the last few months with the hijab controversy, the halal controversy, it kind of cast your government and your state in negative light, and you have recovered that image now?
See, you have spoken half-truth. The issue is when hijab came, we never treated as a communal thing. We treated as our rule as far as dress code is concerned. And we came out the age-old dress code law, and High Court upheld it. Now everybody is following it. Through rule of law, we have settled it. Azan, Supreme Court order has been followed. Rule of law, we have settled it. And any other issue, even halal issue, it is a rule of the law. The law which was done during Congress government, which they had forgotten, we have said everybody should follow, and everybody followed it. See, majority of the minority also follows. It is only few elements who misguide them and try to create a law and order problem. But however, we have dealt it firmly as well as rule of law. And this is a new way of dealing all this kind of nonsense, which is not really necessary for this country. This is the right way to deal it, and I have done it.
I want to talk a little bit about infrastructure, particularly in the context of the recent rains, not just in the cities, but in some of the interiors also. Things because of incessant rains, things have not looked good. What has your government done to improve the infrastructure in Bengaluru as well as in the rest of the state?
See, floods are there unprecedented this year, but the government is there very much. I have toured and traveled all the flood-hit districts, areas, and we have dealt with them on humanitarian grounds. We have done rescue in time, relief in time. Now we are doing rehabilitation in time. And as far as houses are concerned, we are building all the houses which are really succumbed to the rain, and we are building roads, bridges. Immediately I have sanctioned enough money for them. Today also I had a video conference, and I have directed my deputy commissioners to be with the people immediately and see that communication is restored, and then rehabilitation will start. First, rescue and relief should be given immediately. And for your kind information, Karnataka is only one state where if there is a house succumbs completely, NDRF gives 95,000. But my state government is giving 5 lakh rupees for a house which is succumbed to the rain. And as far as farmers' crop loss is concerned, whatever NDRF gives, state government is adding and giving double. For example, if dry crops is 13,600, we are giving them 23,000 rupees.
Okay.
This is how we are helping our farmers and our people. So we are at it. And I have given money from state government for infrastructures like road, electric poles, bridges. So enough rescue and this thing. Now rehabilitation is also on the fast track.
Mr. Bommai, last few questions. You've got less than a year now to go back to the people and face elections. You have the peculiar this thing of dealing with not just one opposition in the Congress, but two opposition parties in the JDS as well. Are you ready to take on both these opposition parties? And what is your general view towards the JDS? Because you have been in an alliance before. Will you rule out the possibility if a need arises? Will you be open to the idea of tying up with a smaller party?
I will answer your question in one straightforward way. I am ready to take on both the opposition up and square.